for the sun. Same shoes, same run. Turn the pain to a plan. Turn the plan to a flood. Mama praying in the kitchen. Grease pop, pots hissing. I was broke, but I listened. Now my hunger sound different. I'm on the GRZY. Hey! Can't nobody come and move me from it. I'm on the GRZY. Yeah! Every stumble I just turn to something.
Hands up high when they try to break me.
Hey!
Knees on the floor when the weight get heavy.
I'm on the GRZY.
Oh.
Got in my corner, they can't take it from me. Whole block say I changed. Whole fam say I'm saved. Still that kid from the way. Just walked out of my cave. Hustle rolled these scars. Scars rolled these bars. Now my struggle in the car. Rattling all through their hearts. I'm on the GRZY. Whoa! Can't nobody come and move me from it. I'm on the GRZY. Hey, hey! Every stumble I just turn to something.
Hands up high when they try to break me. Knees on the floor when the weight get heavy.
I'm on the GRZY.
Oh.
Got in my corner, they can't take it from me.
All right. What's happening, interwebs? All right, today is Wednesday, March 11th, the 11th day. The Ides of March are upon us. I think mid-March. It's when it all goes down. Anyway, talking about a couple of things today. I think first I'm going to mention Replit. So Replit, if you're not familiar, I talk about technology and a tech fiend. But Replit just came out with a new update today. Interesting. You know, I'll put a link. You can check it out. It's very interesting. I'm not gonna make it like a big tech conversation. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Then I'll be one of those guys just AI and tech in here every day. Maybe that leads me to the real point, the real point of the day. So I've got this so just speaking a little bit about tech, I've got this app that helps me with my podcast. So every day I have my podcast script. So today I made my podcast script and scripting. But anyway, I'm gonna go a little bit off script. But the point of the matter is stewardship. Thinking about the whole concept of stewardship. I think in order to make progress, you need to be a steward. It's the whole concept of like investment and growing your investment. I think about it from the whole square, or what is it, the 4-quadrant thing of worker, professional, business person, investor. That's a whole financial construct, but either way, once you get to the investor part, you're the steward in a very significant way. I mean, you're a steward when you're working of your own labor, your own time, and whatever finances you do have, your own finances. And then when you're business owner, entrepreneur, you're a steward of other people's labor and whatever resources, product, those things. I think when you get to be an investor, in that investor quadrant, you think about it differently, because a lot of times you're not making, whether it be impact, return, whatever. You're not making all of these. You're not making it based on your own labor, your own labor, your own ingenuity, your own ideas, your own nothing. Maybe you have insight. Sometimes you don't. But you go through the exercise of investing, and you get wiser through repeat experience as investor. But in that circumstance, it's really apparent that you are the steward, whether it is the steward of the capital investment, the steward of the relationships, whatever. But it's clear that your success is dependent on your stewardship, not necessarily your labor. I think sometimes when we think of doing well, when we think of prospering, we think of just doing more. Just like I'm gonna work more. I'm gonna work the best. I'm gonna do it all. But sometimes that's not the answer. That's not the answer, especially in today's time, economic time. Let's talk about it. Current day, we're going through what they call a pointed recession among certain populations. I think in the black community, there's a unemployment rate of about 8%. That would be recession quality. And so there's probably a lot of people without a lot and trying to figure out how to do more with less. Less opportunity, less finances, less time, less resources, all the things. So anyway, and I know what that is like. But we'll talk about 3 points. I'd like to do things in threes. So we'll talk about 3 points around this concept of stewarding what you already have to create the promise. But defining stewardship. I've got some notes. I'm going to look at my notes. But the 3 areas of stewardship, let's talk about, and we're not even going to talk about, we'll talk about finances. We'll talk about the financial stewardship. If there was any secret, here's a couple of secrets in terms of financial stewardship that I've learned. I have three things. To record things. I got this book. Got this book. I think it's like $40, this book. It's an old school ledger. I sit down at this book and I write all the financial things that I know, all the financial things that I can predict, like the financial notes, whether it is what I am spending that day, debts owed, income, anticipated, all the things. I just write it out here. All the things exist in digital format as well, but I write it here. That helps me be honest. Like the exercise helps me just with a sober mind, because I think a lot of times we can ignore things I think we don't want to see. We don't want to see it. So I have to sit down. The discipline of just sitting down and recording the notes, the debits and credits, old school, has been a benefit. Second benefit is to not be so emotional. Taking the emotion out. Because when things are emotionally charged, then you avoid them, then they get big, and then they get irrational and not logical. So am not emotional about it, and I achieve that personally by being austere. And what austere means is if there's a choice to do without, I do without. I just as a default. Just as a default to not overindulge. So I default to austerity financially, which helps me in that regard. And then there was one other thing. There is the book, there is the austerity, no emotion. I think that's it. I think those are the three. If I remember more, I will come back to it. Anyway, the other piece, time and talent. Stewarding over your personal time and talent. Three things there that I don't do anymore. I don't do a lot of self-indulgent socializing, like just to have a good time. I used to go out, and do things just to have a good time. I don't do that too much anymore. Usually it's very pointed. And not that, and I'll frame it, not that those things are bad, but there's some times when, listen, this is called the GRZY. Sometimes you're on your grind and that's how you live. And the other thing is, again, I don't do everything. I do the things that are specifically tied to the objectives and goals, and most other things I don't do, which I'm not gonna lie, as it's the social challenges. But I try to find ways to have community and social integration in ways that are also contributive to practical aspects of things that I value. So volunteering, church, things like that, keep you tied in, but not necessarily, clubbing or bottle service things. But those are the three in there. And then the last area of stewardship is, this is a good one. It leads into that. Relational stewardship. So a lot of times our focus is so much on practical team building, practical networking, practical relationships. You don't necessarily build those soft relationships that are built more on value, perspective, those things. So sometimes those aspects of community, like I mentioned church, I mentioned volunteering, other civic-oriented ways to intentionally and get community. And some people do it through things like their sorority or fraternity or, the Italian club or whatever you belong to. But you gotta have the balance. And so you have to be intentional. Anyway, Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. Check out that Replit. I'm not going to be like a tech head guy, but check it out. If you're a builder, I'm a builder. If you're on the grind, you got to be a builder. What is it? Today is Wednesday 11th. I got the invite to the big Replit thing. I was busy. I didn't get the chance to go, but anyway, I said I wasn't going to be the tech guy. I'm going to be the tech guy. I'll talk about it. I saw the video. Man, the Agent 4 is kind of a little bit off the chain. I think there's a couple of things. And I noticed I even gave it a test run. So the agents doing parallel tasks on a different level. Like, it's a different level. Parallel tasks. It's a little crazy. Check it out. Secondary piece. So that first one was parallel tasks. That is crazy. Just like full-blown parallel updates at commit. Check it out. The second was the new design feature. So they have a design approach where you can actually just draw suggested things, and it's a designer features that are just nuts. You just need to check it out. And then, man, they took it to the next level with the different asset types. So the ability to create an app from your native web application, the mobile app, is next level, and they're doing different things. So you can now make animations, you can make widgets, you can make other creative assets inside of Replit with their agent. So anyway, check it out. I'll leave a link to the video as well as the Replit itself if you want to check it out. So yeah, we get a little tech in there, we get some inspiration, we get some focus, we get some tech. All right, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay on the grind, stay on the GRZY. Peace.
I'm on the GRZY. I'm on the GRZY. Up before the sun. Same shoes, same run. Turn the pain to a plan. Turn the plan to a flood.